You. Would our new Eagle recipient, Kyle Schermerhorn, please escort his parents forward to the center and face the audience.
Kyle, do you want to tell him what happened to my ribbon?
Our dog ate it.
His dog ate it.
We haven't heard that before.
He really did.
Kyle, your mother undoubtedly has been your primary source of help and of strength. No one will ever know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from your mother, which have helped lead us to this day. In recognition of your mother's devotion, would you please present her with this Eagle Mother's Pin? Kyle, your father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. In return, will you please present your father with the Eagle Father's Pin? Mr. Schermerhorn, will you please proudly pin the Eagle Medal upon your son's uniform? Ms. Petty, would you please remove Kyle's troop neckerchief and slide? In turn, would you please place the Eagle Scout neckerchief and slide on our new Eagle Scout? And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Troop 13's newest Eagle Scout, Kyle Schermerhorn. In addition to Kyle earning the Eagle Award, he has also earned more barrack badges above and beyond in the amount of 10 plus, and therefore tonight is being presented with the Bronze Palm and the Gold Palm. Kyle, would you now please carry out your Eagle Mentors Pin presentation and your Scouts reflection?
So I will start first with my Eagle Mentor Pin. So my first Eagle Mentor Pin goes to, firstly, Mr. Dutton. who in my very early years of scouting drove me to and from every single event, basically. And I learned a lot of my first skills from him, and for that, he gets my first Eagle Scout. My second Eagle Mentor pin goes to Mr. Smith, of course, my Eagle Scout mentor, who helped me a lot with my project. There is not another more fun, adventurous, and loving big guy in this crowd than Mr. Smith. There is no one else I would look to for any problem I encountered in the patrol, a camp out, or a high adventure, or during my Eagle project. You, sir, are so incredible, and you and Aiden are still the only ones I know to get up that slippery hill in that quarter. My third Eagle Mentor pin, of course, goes to Mr. Nelson Jr., who's sitting in the back there. He helped me a lot with my project. Well, I mean, he's my beneficiary and a big part of my project just in general. And I can't thank you enough for everything he's done for me. And also the amazing Boundary Waters trip and helping out with completing that too and getting Eagle Mentor. So now I'll bring out my speech here in my Google Doc. So this is my favorite part, the first part of the speech. So what was once just a dream finally became a reality, and it actually happened here. This is where we beat the adults in the Turkey Bowl in 2019. That was one of the best achievements of my life, right behind Eagle. But I'm here to talk about my path to Eagle Scout and not about that win. I could go on about that for hours. So let's see, we'll start here. So when I started in Cub Scouts, I really had no clue like what kind of ideas, or no clue what kind of adventures I would eventually be going on. All I knew was sell popcorn and I could get door prizes if I could go to meetings. Thank you, Mr. Boyce. After finishing Cub Scouts, I had to look for a troop. And I remember my mom and I going to a couple of different troop meetings and learning a lot about high adventures and North of the Arrow. And I knew at that time I wanted to do all that stuff. But when I finally needed to decide on which troop to join, I was told most of my friends from Cub Scouts was coming to Troop 13. So I said, sure, I'll join that one. I never even visited Troop 13 before I came in. I visited other troops, but never Troop 13, but I just wanted to follow my friends, and I was okay with that. But really, I've never made such a great blind decision. I found the best troop in the town, in the county, the best in the district, and definitely the best troop to ever travel to Gerber Scout Camp. We were unmatched when it came to Gaga Ball. And I guess this will bring me into my experiences at summer camp. From Hammock City to Chair City to Camp Stool City. The legendary, and I mean legendary, aquatic nights. Steven, I'm sorry you'll never go on a small sailboat again, or maybe even close to the water. And I can't forget to mention our legendary SPL trio of Steven Carlson, Colin Kukevich, and I, we had going on in 2018. That was so much fun to lead with you guys. Gerber and their sandy soil will always have a magical spot in my heart, and that summer camp is where some of the best memories I've ever had were made. And now for what took up the rest of my summer, high adventure. From the mangrove trees of Florida to the highest mountain of Philmont, I feel like I've done it all. And trust me, I've loved all of it. My advice to everybody is to go on every single high adventure you can, no matter if you don't like the main idea of it. Each one holds its own adventure, and half the time the trip isn't even about the program, it's way more about your amazing crews. The Tasty Boys, the Moseses, our adventurous Pies and Pints loving West Virginia crew, the unstoppable force of the Boundary Waters crew, and especially my Rayado crew, RM5. Each high adventure taught me something different. At Seabase, I learned what a high adventure is and how to take on a big trip. And also, it was my first encounter with lightning. It really helped me mature as a scout and get used to what being an older scout means. My first time at Philmont taught me all about the beauty of nature, but also how much people can harm it and how we need to do more about helping the earth. Looking at the wildfire spots there that have occurred there in the past, it's truly heartbreaking, and I look to help prevent those in any way I can in the future. West Virginia taught me to be more adventurous on every trip and take every opportunity you get and don't back down from a challenge. especially that freaking bridge that was 800 feet in the air. I've maybe never been more scared in my life. Rayado taught me independence, but also taught me the struggles of life, but how hard work will pay off with better results than you could ever imagine. My final high adventure as a scout, Boundary Waters, taught me to relax and enjoy the trip, but at the same time, keep working hard towards your crew's goals. Everyone here attending this Board of Honor has helped me get to where I am today. I could talk about every single adult or scout here for hours, and I most likely have a story for each one. But I know this speech can't be ours like I wish it could be. Thank you all for building me as a person and as a scout. I can't believe this is the end, but I also feel like it's a new beginning. As I look to the future, I can't wait to do more for scouting than scouting has done for me, even though that will be very, very tough.
Parents, thank you for such a great young man. Would you now please present us with your parents' reflections?
Well, wow. Very humbling experience to be here today. I want to start by saying thanks to Mike Nelson when he was a young man coming up with this idea of Boy Scouting. Creating it. Great idea, Mike.
Thank you.
I want to thank Mr. JD for coming up with, hey, I'm going to start a troop called 13. And I'd like to thank Mr. Ratzel for inventing the submarine, for all the submarine stories. You guys are amazing. Boy, it all started in September of 2007, verified with Mr. Boyce today. And there was a knock at the door, and there was this tall man and a couple of boys selling popcorn. And I said, yeah, we'll buy some popcorn. And I said, what's this for? It's for the Cub Scouts. And the popcorn colonel himself, right there, closed the deal. And a few weeks later, we were in the Cub Scouts. There, I met so many amazing people. Scott Dutton became like a best friend instantly. Tom Chadwell, an amazing person that just guided my son on hiking, taught him how to walk better. Oh my gosh. Tom Hipp was Kyle's Cub Scout pack leader. He was amazing. And, you know, at that time in my life, I didn't have a lot of time to be part of Kyle's scouting career. But, and I'm winging it, by the way. So, I didn't have a lot of time. But I am so thankful for everybody who stepped in. You know, and I mean, Scott Dutton picked up my son like for every meeting and took him, you know, back and forth. I cannot be thankful enough. And fed him too. They say, did you eat? Mr. Dutton picked up something fun. So, anyways, I sort of calculated in my mind what we owe you for all the gas and all the food and everything. So after, Cheryl's going to cut your check for that. And we are very thankful. Yeah, Kyle, your mom and I, sisters, your family that can't be here, Wanda, Uncle Phil, Aunt Beth, Fred, Uncle Mike, your grandparents, everybody's so proud of you. And, boy, then, you know, so I do all these Camp Freeland, Leslie, or camping trips, and it was an amazing time. I could get away and do it with him. And then he crosses over into scouting and finds Troop 13, and wow, what an amazing troop. Once again, we went on a camp out, and it was probably the second or third camp out we did. And I just noticed, like, Kyle wasn't there. He wasn't asking me questions anymore. He was kind of out there on his own, and I stood back and looked at it. I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And I remember I stopped at one moment. I said, hey, son, you know, you might want to be careful doing that. He's like, Dad, all I'm doing is having fun. And I'm like, you're right, have fun. And at that point, I just stepped back. And I just watched him because I knew he was making these choices on his own. So I've always promoted that with Kyle. You know, be a leader, not a follower, and make these choices on your own. Give your very best. Very proud of you for that. So. And then, then there's this guy, Chet Smith. Oh my gosh. Chet Smith. I don't know. I think one of the greatest memories of my life is a Father's Day a couple years ago, being in a cave a couple 100 feet under the ground, right behind Chet Smith. and just knowing if I got stuck, he was going to pull me through. I had nothing to worry about. It was amazing. I think about these high adventures we did. West Virginia was great. We had to go rappelling, and I said, I'm thinking I better go first here. I'm going to be the leader. And Kyle just steps up. He's like, I'm going first. I'm like, wow, okay. So he went over. Thank God he went over first because I went second. And Chet caught it on video. Didn't go so well. I kind of just like went over the other end. The guy didn't have me all the way strapped in. For everybody, it was a freak out moment. I was at peace, but thank God Kyle was. And then there was Florida Sea Base. I don't know, Scott Dutton and I, we took some lightning to the back of our heels, and it was rough. And then we waded out in the water, and by the way, at Sea Base, everything you do in the water, around the water, and I don't swim. But I went because I said, son, you feeling okay on this? He's like, I'm a little nervous, Dad. And I said, well, it's all booked, son, but if a spot opens up, I'll go. And the next Sunday night, he calls me, Monday, Dad, there's an opening. I'm like, really? Yeah, Dad, you gonna go? Yeah, I'll go, son. And emailed Mike Nelson. He's like, you're in. I was like, okay. So I only discussed with Scott Dutton prior to the trip that I didn't know how to swim. And I gave that one to Mr. Nelson when we were on the island. When they were doing the swimming lessons, and I was like, well, I can't swim. So they gave me a PFD, personal flotation device, and that was working well. Until one point, waters were rough, and I was walking out and started taking on water and realized that I forgot it. And so our leader had to come swim and save me, but we got on the boat.
You almost drowned.
I was fine with it. The boys were freaking out. Like, you weren't answering us. You didn't. I said, no, I was fine. I said, did anybody get a video? I want to see it. But anyways, I just cannot be any more proud of my son, of these leaders, thankful, humble, just everybody that's here. You are part of Kyle's core in scouting. And I just thank you so much.